everyone, thanks for joining me. This is a little cool down or stretching video. So you might be doing this after having finished a bunch of the other videos and using this to wrap up the session. Or of course, you can be doing this one as a standalone session. Stretching is obviously very good for recovery, increased flexibility work. So lots of great reasons to stretch. Now, because if you're going to be doing some more things, of course, later on or like soon, then I'll be doing it this way, where you don't stretch and hold deep. Okay, that's probably better for right at the end, or you're not planning on doing anything else. So if you are going to do some other training, then just don't go as deep and hold it and try to really get into those deeper ranges. Okay, if you're sort of just doing this as a bit of a cool down, because then you plan on as well, in maybe half hour, an hour, doing another session of some kind, then perhaps maybe, just do it the way I'm going to do it now, because I'm going to be doing some more stuff after this, right? Okay, so we're going to be working, this is going to be like a whole body one, so stretching different areas. So we're going to start from the ground up, right? Okay, so starting with our calves. Okay, so so you might want, obviously it's placed on the floor. You can stretch on some of the stretches as well. I'll give you variations that you can do on, like say, a chair as well, because depending on maybe how your knees are, especially for some, okay, it might be easier in different positions. Okay, and something to hang from. A door frame is probably going to be the best one. Okay, I'll just use this pole here. Okay, so they're kind of some of the things that of course will make it a bit easier. So calf stretch to start. Okay, so we're going to start 2 hands on the floor, and then have your legs out, and then tuck 1 foot right onto your Achilles of the other, and then stretch down. Try to lengthen the calf this way. Okay, so if you're going to be doing some more training like I am after, then just get a little bit of a hold down the bottom, then come back out. You can come all the way into a plank if you like, before pushing back into it. That way you don't get too deep. You don't, work that stretch reflex too hard. Okay. You can hold it for a little bit longer if you like, or change legs. Okay. If you are working on, you're trying to increase your flexibility, you do need to get past that stretch reflex, right? So your body wants to protect itself, and that's what makes that tightness. So you have to relax and let that let go. Otherwise, then just don't push too hard into it if you're going to be doing more. Okay, so coming up, we'll get a little quad stretch. Okay, so, and then you can push forward a little bit too, and as you pull back further to get a little bit more stretch. So I'm trying to drive my hip forward, switch the glute on, and that'll help get a little bit deeper in the stretch. Again, you can sort of release it and push back into it. Okay, good. Switch legs. Good. Okay, coming back down. We're going to get into our hip flexors a little. So it doesn't have to be and hamstrings. Doesn't have to be a heap deep stretch position, because then you're going to push into it. So again, glute on first, then hip drive forward. Okay, then we're going to lift up the same arm that is on the ground. Okay, and reaching up to get as much stretch through here. So we're getting a little bit of a side stretch through our torso at the same time as the hip. All right, and then this hand will go on the front leg hip and get a little bit of a glide to the side, like this. Okay, so length and then a little bit side. But remember, this one is focusing on up. This one is getting the side. Then we're going to sit back, get a little hamstring stretch. So you can either lock it out, that kind of puts the stretch about here, or keep your knee bent and then push the chest forward, keeping the back straight, and that gets the stretch a little bit more into the middle of the hamstring, I find. Good, pushing back in. And glute on, hip on, reaching up, and then glide with the other hand. Then sit back. Reaching up. Glute, hip, reach, glide. And then back. Good, switch your legs. All right, so position. Of course, you want to hold, get a bit more of a stretch. Of course, you can lengthen and hold into more of a split sort of position. Up to you. Okay, so ready? Glute, hip, reach, glide. Should feel it right up the front, a little bit into the side here, like in your lap. Good. Sit back. Okay, try not to arch like this. Push your chest out, then reach forward like I'm trying to bring my chest to my knee. Good. Pushing up. Good. Sit back. Good. And sit back. That's fun. Okay, good. So now we're going to do a little glute stretch. So I'll show you lots of variations for this one. Okay, the other ones so far, you know, there are variations of course, but those are the ones that I like to do at least. Okay, so this one though, because I know that the position sometimes can be quite challenging, so I'll give you lots of variation. So if you can, of course, coming into this position. Okay, so this one is splayed across, and this one is reaching back behind. Now, depending on where you want the stretch, I can have my foot angled this way, like towards my hip a bit more, or I can have it a bit more parallel to my chest. Okay, so that changes where the stretch kind of hits, and up to you where you want to go. So, of course, this position can be quite difficult for some people. So, if you like, a variation is either the same stretch onto, say, the seat of a chair. Okay, this is a little low, but it's fine. I just got to get deeper on this back leg. But see, I make the same position across like this as I stretch. Okay, or you can do the same seated, right? So bring it up like this if you can, and reach and sit forward. Again, see, length through the torso and chest folding down. Okay, and I should feel it in the crossed legs glute. Okay, so yeah, depending on how you can get in the position, these are some variations for the stretch. Okay, I know in particular elevating the knee, like the one I showed you in the box, that you could do onto the seat of a chair, is sometimes good for people who struggle to get that, this position, right? They're struggling to get it all the way into either the seated sometimes position or on the ground. Okay, so ready? Set yourself up however you like. Okay, so then of course, just straight down is one way to do it. And then I can sort of turn into the front leg to change again the angle of the stretch, or change the angle of my ankle, bringing it higher as well to change where the stretch goes. Good. So you can kind of move around till you find the point that you want to really sort of work on. Again, working past that stretch reflex if you're doing a nice finishing stretch. Good. I'm going to change legs, but feel free to stay and change later if you like. Now I'm turning into this front leg. I can bring it a little bit more to the side and up higher as well. And it's just straight down. Okay, good. So that's our glutes. Okay, we're going to move on to our back. Okay, so for this stretch, okay, we're going to lay on our belly first. Okay, so we're trying to twist through our sort of lower middle back. Okay, so I have my left arm over my head to start, and as I roll onto my left hip, I'm going to reach forward with my right foot as long as I can on this sort of angle. So I don't need to come up to hip height, okay? Because then I'm going to take my right hand, so the same as the leg that's stretched out, and I'm going to reach back. So it makes a nice line. And the foot is trying to go as far as this way as the hand is trying to go as far this way. Getting it close to the ground as I anchor with this foot. And back. And again, see, so I've got my left anchoring here, my foot anchoring here, so I'm anchored on this side as I reach to the other. Letting gravity help assist the stretch. Good. One more, then we'll change sides. So we haven't changed sides just yet. Good. Okay, ready now? We'll change sides. So right hand overhead, rolling to my right hip, anchor the left foot, reach the left hand. And back. And again. Reach with the foot, reach with the hand. And back. One more. Good. Okay, and relax. Okay. For our upper back, we're just going to get a couple little rocks. Alright, all of my back really. So you can just go like this, coming to the shoulders. If you can, especially if you're not planning on doing more, and trying to get a little bit of a sit. Behind is also good, okay? But of course, if that's a bit extreme amount of movement for your neck and your back, then yeah, just get the little rocks. Okay, great. So moving into our arms to finish. Now, of course, yeah, if you don't have or you don't want to use the door frame, then you can just go like this across and like this for our triceps. But otherwise, I like to use a door frame to hang off of. Okay, so first we'll just get a hold like this and then a twist, getting a stretch through our pecs and a bit into our biceps here. Okay, we'll just do the one side first. Okay, then bringing the hand higher and then coming forward more. Getting a stretch this way, gets a little bit higher into my shoulder. Good. Next is same hand, same side. I'm going to come in this way and pull back. Okay, that should be getting into your lats. Okay, so I mean it's a bit easier standing. I just got to make sure I stay in frame. But see, I have my feet close to here. I can have the bottom hand supporting too, but it's about the top hand that stretches. And so you get a little hang. Now I'll switch sides so I can keep facing the camera right. See, so I should be feeling it through here. Okay, and you can come in and out of that. You don't have to hold into it. Okay, good. So then we can do the other side, of course. So bicep, right, shoulder, and lat on the other side. Okay, good. So there's just a couple of stretches going from the bottom all the way to the top. Okay, there's so many more we can do, of course. Okay, but that's a pretty good sort of, you know, all-round stretch. Now, of course, yeah, if you want to get a bit more of a deeper stretch, then hold those positions for a little bit longer, working deeper as you go, maybe every 30 seconds to a minute, trying to push a little bit deeper. But you really do need that time to sort of, yeah, let that stretch reflex sort of let go. So then you can push a bit further, right? But of course, advised, if you're not going to be doing anything too strenuous or explosive, especially, you know, soon after, right? Okay, cool. So good job. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, see you in another video.